Hi guys, my name is Steve B. I'm coming to you today to talk about staying sober for today. I hope you guys are all right. And remember, if you like what I do, please give a like and a subscribe. And that'd be fantastic. I would love that. But anyway, I'm here to talk to you today about none other than faith. You know, I found out like my life. I'm a man of faith. I really am. And if you guys know me at all, you know I am. But I'm going to give you a little bit about what happened to me. What the story was for my faith. First of all, I came to the Lord early. In my early 20s. I had a little bit of a spiritual awakening. I came to the Lord. I fell in love with Jesus. I memorized scriptures. I read the Bible all the time. All the time. I read the Bible all the time. And I memorized scriptures. And back in my 20s. I'm 67 today. But back in my 20s, I was on fire for the Lord. It was like I've been looking for this my whole life, and here it is. You know, I just couldn't get enough of it. I listened to people talking about like Bible stuff, and I memorized Bible stuff, and it was the greatest feeling in the world. When I first came to the Lord. Um, and what happened was, I did that. Much. I was married and I had a little boy, but my ex-wife hated that. She's like, she didn't understand it. I think is what it was, and I kind of like I did understand it, but it was kind of I felt like I was alone. I was alone in that marriage, and she didn't want anything to do with God or the Lord or anything like that, and I wanted everything to do with the Lord Jesus. I wanted everything to do with Him. Jesus was my God. He was my master, and so I did various things. I went to different churches. I tried different flavors, if you will, of Christianity, and yeah, that got me what it got me. When I turned when it was let's say you know I, I what I did was I had a couple of jobs, and then when I the real job that I stayed at for the longest amount of time for 32 years was a construction job. We did road construction, and believe me, that's work. That's real work. And we worked with blacktop, and we worked with dirt, and we worked with everything. And I didn't say I loved it. I loved the money. It paid really well. But in 1984, that's when my drinking really started to take off. During a construction job, and I'd be in the car, and I drove all over the state, and I hit probably every package store in the state. And I got ripped on the way home, and that was my life for I was married to her. In 1988, I got a divorce from her name was Judy, and we had a little boy, Michael. But I got a divorce, and what happened was, I became a weekend parent, and Michael was with me on the weekends, and poor Michael suffered. I was a drinker. I was a partier. I had no interest in being a weekend parent or being any kind of parent, to be honest with you. But anyway, that was a dark time. But that's when my drinking really took off the most, and I turned my back on God. I didn't see myself as a Christian anymore. I saw myself as a construction worker slash drinker. And that's what I did. And that's what I lived to do. I lived to drink. And I kind of lost myself in that time period from the divorce, from 88 to like 92. I was looking for myself, and in that time period, toward the end of my drinking, I stopped, like I said, in the end of 1992. But I drank like there was no tomorrow. My drinking took off. It took off, and lo and behold, it was it's what I lived for. I lived to drink and drank to live and lived to drink and drank to live, and all my money went to that. And I didn't care about bills or car repairs or anything. But as long as I had money to drink, and then I did clubs and stuff like that. But around that time, I took a dark turn. I turned to the occult, and I actually uh, I I became me and another woman. Like one thing led to another, and we were the heads of this witchcraft group, coven. Call it what I'm going to call it what it was. It was a witchcraft coven, and I was the high priest, and she was the high priestess. And oh, that fed my ego. I liked the fact that I was the high priest of this group, and I let my ego get like out of control, and I was a nasty person to be around, and my drinking exasperated everything, you know, and I was totally sold out to the devil around this time, and I had nothing to do with the Lord. I did hang on to you know through the years, and before I came back to the faith, I uh, I did hang on to the words of Jesus, and a lot of the scriptures I did, and I never forgot them. Never forgot them. I knew them. I memorized them, and for the longest time, they were they fed me, in a weird way. But anyway, I was sold out to the devil and other gods, and and totally to the occult. I couldn't get enough of it. I had started a group, a witchcraft group, first, and went from that to another one, and I also belonged to an Egyptian occult group. And I don't know. I was just totally sold out, and one thing led to another, to another, to another, to another, and years passed, and I went on. I ended up like getting another. Well, I married again. I married a lady, that I had met in meetings and stuff like that, and that was the beginning of the end of my occult practices. Because she wasn't into that, and I was into our relationship, and then we got married, and we stayed married for 18 years, and actually I met her in recovery, so I was sober the whole time I was married to her. And what happened, we had a couple of kids, a couple of beautiful kids. They're awesome people. To this day I think they're the greatest kids in the world. They're awesome. And they get along with the oldest one, Michael. The other two kids, um, and Michael got along very good. And Michael became a weekend. Well, yeah, he visited on the weekends, and he got older and older and older. I used to blow him off, just so I could do my own thing. And I wasn't nice to that kid, and that poor kid deserved better for a father. Michael deserved a lot better than me. But anyway, so I had these two new kids, and I used to bring them to meetings, and my wife, was in recovery too, and went to meetings with her, and lo and behold, we ended up getting a divorce around 2012, and you know, it was heartbreaking for me. Broke me in pieces. I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to drink, you know, and I was sober for a real long time. I didn't want to drink, but I didn't want to live either. And that was the hardest time of my life. I'm here to tell you that was the hardest thing I ever had to go through. You know, my mother died a long time ago, back in 2008, and that wasn't nearly as hard as this was to get through. This was horrible. This was you know, it was almost like, you know, I'm thinking, God, why are you doing this to me? And you know, and I had no answers. I had no answers. This was the hard, and it's like, why are you hurting me like this? And God wasn't hurting me. I didn't know it at the time, but He was building me. He was giving me a faith that can't be broken. And I'm here to tell you guys today that, you know, that happened a long time ago, and here I am. I'm stronger than ever. He made me stronger as a result of going through that stuff. I I didn't drink during that whole period, and you know, I just got stronger, and I feel like, you know, that happened to me for me to get stronger. And I'm here to tell you, if you go through stuff, you know, come out the other side, you're gonna get stronger. But if you don't come out the other side, you're gonna have to relearn these you're gonna have to relearn these things all over again, and they're tough. I wouldn't want to go through that again. That was horrible. I have a fantastic relationship with the kids today, all three of them. You know, my ex, the one Denise, that I was married to for 18 years. You know, she passed away about a couple of years ago, and it hurt the kids tremendously. But you know, but I'm closer to them than ever. You know, and my program is stronger. I'm stronger. My faith, my goodness. There are a couple of acronyms for faith. Forsaking all, I trust Him. That's one. Another one is forwarding all issues to heaven. It's like, okay, I love both of those. Both of those are awesome. You know, my life is really good. You know, it's awesome these days. You know, we had what happened was COVID hit about almost 5 years ago, and it freaking rocked our world. And when COVID hit, I started another meeting, you know, down the park. That's the one I talk about all the time. You know, and it's taught me more about service than anything I've ever done. I'm here to tell you guys that service is the way. Service is the best thing in the world for you guys. Get into service. Help another alcoholic or a regular person. Doesn't matter. By helping another person, you're helping yourself. You know, and you know, that's been going strong for about 5 years. You know, and no end in sight. You know, and I met some wonderful, beautiful people. Fantastic people that I'll never forget. You know, a lot of them are still around. You know, and here I am, you know, and it was part of my day. I wake up in the morning, do a little exercise. You know, I go down to the park. I walk for 3 miles. I hang out with people before the meeting. The meeting's over. I take off. Absolutely take off. And then I go to another meeting at 4 o'clock. You know, over at another place. But you know, and that's my life pretty much. You know, and people would say, "Well, that sounds freaking boring." It's not boring. And I make these wonderful podcasts that, I can only tell you this is my pleasure to do this for you guys, to talk to you about staying sober for today. I don't want to drink today. I don't want you guys to drink today. There's really no reason in the world to drink today. Just hang in there. Eventually the craving will pass if it's a craving that you have. But you can beat this thing one day at a time. I'm on your side, and I want you to do it. I had a little glitch with my camera, and I had to go down to get it checked out. I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea what's going on. But it was like I kind of freaked out. It's like, now what? Now what? I want to make more videos. But this one on faith is huge, because God's the most important thing in my life. God and the program and the meetings and the people, and they're all one big lump. And I have a big family today, and I love my family today. And it gives me nothing but pleasure to come to you guys and to share something that might help you. And I hope I did help you today. And just another reminder, go and subscribe, and give a like and a comment. I'd love to hear from you. God bless.